Hello everyone, welcome to AWS Tutorials. In AWS Tutorials, you learn about AWS services. Today we are going to talk about Amazon SageMaker Canvas. It is a service which was launched during the recent reInvent time. And if you have even slight interest in machine learning, then you're going to love this service. Let's get started. Now, in a very simple term, Amazon SageMaker Canvas is a low-code, no-code visual service which business analysts can use to build business machine learning models to generate prediction, to make predictions. So what happens is that generally the business analysts work with a lot of data and they want to explore if they can use certain data to make some kind of prediction to solve certain problem. Then these business analysts can use this service, Amazon SageMaker Canvas, to work with the data, to build a machine learning model, to be able to make prediction using the model. Now, let's try to understand the challenges of business analyst, and then you will able to relate it better. So, if there is a business analyst who has some data, and if the business analyst think that it can use the data, or the business analyst want to explore if it can use the data to make prediction, well, they know very well about the data. They understand how clean the data is, how biased or unbiased the data is, and they also know what prediction they want to make, whether it is about the forecast or any kind of regression or numerical prediction they want to make, or any kind of classification prediction they want to make. They very well know what prediction they want to make, and they know their data. But they are not able to explore this data from the machine learning point of view, because most of the time these business analysts have very limited coding skill, scripting skill. They have no or limited machine learning experience, and if they try to leverage expertise of data scientists to build the machine learning model, then it reduces their agility, because they are dependent on those professionals to be able to build the model and deploy before they can, because analysts can use that deployed model to infer the data and explore the possibilities of using that model for any kind of business use. So what business analysts are looking for, some sort of tool which is a no-code or low-code tool, visual tool, which does not require you to write any line of code, and you can bring your data in and build a model using the data to explore the possibility of using the model for any business purposes. Okay? Now, if you try to understand the whole machine learning flow, it is quite complex. So you first of all bring your data, then you clean your data. Most of the time data has missing values, wrong values. You need to fix those things. Then you do feature engineering on the data, whether you're trying to create some new data out of the existing data, or you want to do encoding of your features, because most of the machine learning algorithms only accept numeric values, or for instance, they accept only arrays and those kind of things. So for that purpose, you have to do feature engineering. Then you train your model. Then you test your model. Then of course you have to do hyperparameter tuning to fine tune your model, so that you can test whether the model can give more accurate prediction. And once you are happy with the performance of the model, accuracy of the model, then you deploy your model, and then only you can infer your model or use your model for any kind of exploration, or any kind of, to see if your model is good enough to serve your business purpose. So at very high level, this is how the machine learning flow look like. And your business analysts are very good in the first two part. They can bring data and they can clean your data. Yeah, they can really, because they know their data very well. But when it comes to doing the rest of the machine learning part, they find it challenging because they see that they cannot do these things unless they know coding. And that's where SageMaker Canvas comes to solve the problem, because SageMaker Canvas simplifies the thing. It asks you to bring the clean data. Now this is very important. I have highlighted this cleaned term here because at this point of time, SageMaker Canvas does not provide you a feature to clean the data. You might want to use, if you want to stay with the low code, no code, and of course, if you're a business analyst, probably you want to stay that way. You can use Glue Data Brew to clean your data without writing any single line of code. And if you are not aware of this service, I have another tutorial where I have demonstrated how you can use Glue Data Brew. So you can use services like AWS Glue Data Brew to clean your data and then bring to the canvas. So keep in mind, canvas cannot clean your data. You have to bring clean data to the canvas. Then you can see the statistics of the data to see, to get some sense about the profile of the data and their statistics and their relationship and those kind of things. Then you configure what kind of prediction you want to make. Then you simply train and deploy your model. And then finally, you infer your model or use your model to see if it is serving your business purpose or not. The best part is that all these end-to-end steps, you do it without writing a single line of code. And I'm going to show you how it works. So, few facts about Amazon SageMaker Canvas before we jump onto the demo and see this service in action. What types of prediction it can make? At this point of time, it can make three types of prediction. Regression problems, which is more of you want to do any kind of numeric predictions. Like example I gave you, tell me the price of this house. So for instance, your input value is number of rooms, kitchens, toilets, the area of the house and the rooms and the area and the city area, when it was constructed. Those things you can provide as an input, and it can predict what price the house you can buy or sell. You can solve binary classification you can solve classification problem, and both types of binary and multi-class. So binary is example like, for instance, will this customer churn or not? The answer is yes or no. So it is a binary classification problem. So that kind of problem you can solve using Amazon SageMaker Canvas. Or you can go for multi-class problems. So looking at the customer profile, tell me what kind of risk this customer profile has. Is it low, medium, high? So it's a multi-class scenario. Or you can go for time series forecasting, like tell me the forecast of the sales or stocks 6 months or 2 months or 1 month down the line. So these three types of problem you can solve using Amazon SageMaker Canvas at this point of time. And right now, this service works only with the tabular data. So if you have any kind of picture data or that kind of data, unfortunately, you cannot use it. But if your data is in a tabular format, you can definitely use it. So, second thing, what types of model you can build? Basically, you can create two types of model. One is a quick model. And quick model could be like, okay, for instance, you bring your data and you want to quickly build a model like in 10-15 minutes to see how does prediction look like with that model. And what happens in the quick model that your data will be used with one of the algorithms depending on what kind of prediction you are making to quickly build a model and then give back to you so that you can quickly test it. And if you feel like you're happy with the quick build and looks quite promising, then you can go for a standard build. And standard build is, in fact, standard build uses a service of AWS SageMaker called Autopilot. So it's going to actually build your model using the best possible algorithm and with tuning also in place to make sure that it gives you best performing model. So quick model is a quick model, need not necessarily a best performing model, just to check that your concept is working, your model is working, it's giving predictions or looks promising. You can go to the next step, and then you can go for standard build, which depending on the size of data can take anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours or even more. That gives you a performing model and more accurate model, which actually you can use to make serious business decisions as well. Okay, so 2 types of model you can build, quick and standard. Now, one thing I want to set a right expectation here. To be honest, this service, there's nothing much to talk, it's more to see how it works. But one expectation I want to talk about. First of all, this is not a replacement for data scientist's job. So let me make it very clear. So business analysts are going to use this tool to simply explore the possibility of using their data for machine learning prediction purposes. So it is to explore the possibility, doing a very quick modeling, in fact, very accurate modeling, because you have a standard build where you get the best performing model. So you can build your model to look into the possibility that, I can use this data for my machine learning prediction purposes. And it is really a great tool for the business analyst because they don't have to depend on data scientists for exploring such possibilities. But the moment you think that, it looks like a serious thing, I can use this data to make prediction, then you want to involve data scientists to do a MLOps based, high MLOps based machine learning model deployed for real time or batch predictions. And that's why actually this tool does provide a feature where you can create a standard build in Canvas based on your data. And if you're happy with the performance of that model, then you can share it with data scientists using SageMaker Studio so that they can review the details of the data set and the model, and they can in fact deploy it in the SageMaker, deployed in SageMaker for batch-based transformation or batch-based inference or real-time inference purposes. So let's have this expectation absolutely clear that it is a tool which business analysts can use to explore the possibility of using machine learning model with their data and with accuracy. That's very important. It's not that they are playing with some dirty model. If you go for a standard build, you really get a performant and accurate model back to you. And if you think that, it looks like a very good case and I can use it for my real inference, business inference purposes, then you can hand it over using Canvas only to your data scientists, so the data scientists can use SageMaker Studio to deploy this model for real life inference purposes. Okay, so let's keep this expectation in mind. Now, I'm going to show you demo, and demo is pretty straightforward. I have some bank customers data, and I'm going to use this bank customers data to predict if the customer will go for a term deposit subscription or not. So it is a binary classification problem, which is going to give me an answer using yes or no. That depending on the customer profile data I have, it's going to make a prediction whether customer will go for term deposit subscription or it will not go for term deposit subscription. So without wasting any time, let's go and see the demo. So what I have got, I have this bank data here, and I have created two copies here, by the way, guys. One copy I use to create a model and deploy it so that I don't waste time when I'm presenting. And the second copy I'm going to use to show the process of creating the model. Now, I have got two sets of data. I've got test and train data. Test data I'm going to use, train data I'm going to use to train my model, and test data I'm going to use to test my prediction using the model. And as I said, I have two copies over here. So you can see here, I have used these two copies to actually already create a model so that I can show you, because my standard model creation takes 2 hours time, and of course I don't want to wait for that long. But these two I'm going to use to show you the process of creating the model. Now let's have a look at the data also. So here is my data. So this is my training data. So it says it has information about the customer like age, job, marital status, education, housing, loan, contact, contact duration, day, month, part of any campaign or not, those kind of things. And based on that, I know whether this customer has subscribed or non-subscribed. Okay. Now this is my training data. This data I'm going to use to train whether the customer will subscribe for term deposit or not. So subscribed is my target feature or my output data. Here is my test data where I don't have subscribed field here, because I'm going to then use this data to make prediction whether these 10, 11 customer records I have, are they going for term deposit or not? So this is this set I am going to use for my testing purpose. So let's go back to SageMaker AWS. So here is my data in the S3 bucket. So it looks all good. So I've got my data in my S3 bucket. Now here is to show you how you can launch Canvas. So if you go to SageMaker Studio console page, SageMaker console page, under SageMaker domain, you will find three things: Studio, RStudio, and Canvas. Canvas is the new addition. You can click on Canvas, and it will first ask you to create a SageMaker domain. So if you don't have SageMaker domain, you will see a button over here saying create a SageMaker domain. You click on that. It will take 5-10 minutes to create the SageMaker domain. Once the SageMaker domain is created, then you can simply go to this launch application here, and here you can click on Canvas, and it's going to open the Canvas console for you. So Canvas console, so this I have not done here just to save time. Already I have created a SageMaker domain, and I have already created the Canvas because it takes time, and I don't want to wait in the recording for launching it. So here I have, this is how the Canvas console look like, and it is a no code console where you can simply build your model without writing any single line of code. So I've already created a model over here, but I'm going to use it later. First, let's go to the step number 1. Now, step number 1 is to create your data set. And for that, you can do it in many ways. You can either upload a file, or you can go to the S3 bucket, or you can also use add connection. You can connect to Snowflake or Redshift at this point of time. In my case, I have put my data into my S3 bucket. So I'm going to use these two sets of data, bank customer data, training data, and test data. I'm going to import it. So now it is importing data for me. It's going to take a couple of seconds, and my data will be imported. Ready? So you can see here my data is ready, and this is my training data. You can see there are total 17 column and total 45,000 rows. And this one has got 16 columns, 1 column less because I have removed the subscribed column, because this I'm going to use for my test purposes to see the prediction. And it has got just 11 rows. So looks good. I can always preview my data. So click on this, and you can always preview your data, that how your data look like. You can see this subscribed column over here. And then if you look at the other data, you can see it has no subscribed column over here. So my data set is ready. Now I go to my models. And here I'm going to create a new model. And let me call it bank customer subscription model. Okay, bank customer subscription model. You can give any name, but I'm giving this a name. And it says, okay, fine, which data you want to use. So I say I want to use, so which data you want to use for training purposes. So I'm saying I want to use this bank customer data, training data. So training data I want to use for my model. So I simply select this data set. And now it is going to actually show me some statistics of the data. So few things first from the data point of view. So you can see all your data over here. You can see all your data over here. And you can see some quick statistics in terms of are there any missing values, what data type it is, any kind of mismatch, or how many unique values, and mean and mode. And if you want some more statistics about the data, you can always click on the column, and on the right hand side you can see some more statistics about the data, some standard deviation, some value distribution, those kind of things you can see about the data. So you can see here there are various types of distribution you can see about the data. So that gives you some information about the profile of your data. Now, first thing it asks you that, okay, what is your target column? So which column you want to make prediction about? So in my case, this subscribed column, which has two values, yes or no, actually, and they are more no than yes. So it is not only 11% yes, and no is 88%. I wish I had more yes, actually. It is more useful. But I want to make prediction on this subscribed value. So depending on the other feature values, I want to make a prediction whether the subscribed value will be yes or no. That means the customer will go for term deposit subscription or not. Now, one thing it does is that it automatically selects a model type. So it automatically categorized, oh, I see only two values. So you're going for two category predictions. So it has identified it as a classification problem with two categories. That means binary classification. But actually you can go and change it. I don't need to change it here because this is the right type of model it has selected. But you can go for a multi-class, you can go for numerical model, you can go for time series model. So 4 types of model are supported at this point of time. So I don't change it. Then I can preview the model. It takes a couple of minutes. It can really take a sample of data and can generate a model for you just to see if it can generate a model. But more important here is that I can create 2 types of model. I can go for a quick build, which will simply create a quick model for you so that you can, like here you choose speed over accuracy. You don't go after accuracy, but you say I want to go for a very quick model, 2 to 15 minutes time. Just to see if this data is a viable data to make prediction or not. Generally, it is advisable you go for quick build. And once you're happy with the quick build, then you go for a standard build, which is going to create a model with better accuracy. So it chooses accuracy over speed. And it can take 2 to 4 hours depending on model type, depending on the size of the data. Like the data I have, which has 45,000 records, it takes less than 2 hours to generate the model. So anyway, so I want to go for a standard build over here, and then all I need to do is simply create on standard build. And what it will do is that it's going to start the analysis of my data, and it start going to train on my data. So you can see here that it will take 1 hour 45 minutes to complete my standard build. So far, I have not written a single line of code. And you also know, I mean, if you know little machine learning, that I have lot of categorical value here, like month is a non-numeric value, and similarly I have got job, a non-numeric value, housing is a binary value. A lot of these columns need feature encoding, but I don't need to do any feature encoding. Canvas is doing feature encoding on this data, then it's going to build a model on this data, and it's going to deploy that model, and I can use that model to make prediction by using this predict tab. So right now I cannot do anything over here because right now the model development is in progress. So what I'm going to do, just to show you the complete cycle. So to be honest, you have to wait till analyze, and we come to analyze after say 2 hours. It will show you, hey, your model is ready, and this is the accuracy of the model. It will show you the accuracy of the model, and then you can start making prediction after that. So let me go back to models over here, and I have already, using the same data, guys, I have already created another model so that I can show you the complete cycle. So here we go. It has already generated a model for me, and you can see here it's showing 89.1% accuracy. So it says 89.1% time I can make accurate prediction. Actually, you can look into this column to see what is the impact of this column. So for instance, based on this model, it says that these are the columns who impact this model most. And actually, you can use this information to probably retrain your model by removing some column if you think that some column is not affecting my, like for instance, this previous one. It is not, it's less than 1%. So you might say, you know what, I'm not going to use previous as a feature next time when I create my model, because it's have no impact on my model, almost no impact on the model. So those kind of decisions also you can make. You can see scoring of your model and everything. You can play with that. Now here you can make prediction. And you can make two types of prediction. You can do a batch prediction. That means you can select a data set and make a prediction for that data set, or you can make a single prediction. Let's go to single prediction first. So if I click on single prediction, you can see here, it gives me a form. It's right now not very intuitive, so hopefully it will get better in coming days. But here you can select you can change the values, and it can see what is the prediction. So for instance, if I come over here and say my loan is yes, and I update it, and my prediction is still no, but the confidence of no is 97.2%. So 97.2%, it is saying that yeah, this guy will not go for term deposit. So let me do a little more. If I make him, okay, let's keep it secondary. Let's make him single or hot single, okay, and update. And you can see still it's a no prediction, but the confidence level is now 95.4%. So you can see here you can actually change the value over here to make a prediction about whether the customer will go for a term deposit or not. Other method you can use is a batch prediction. And in case of batch prediction, it asks you to select a data set. So you select a data set which does not have prediction column, like subscribed in this case. So I simply select this test, and if you look at this column, this data set again, it has all the columns but not subscribed column, because that's what I want to predict. I simply select a test data set and say I want to generate prediction. And it will take a couple of minutes, and it's going to generate prediction. Now, while it is generating the prediction, okay, it's ready in fact. So I can see the prediction. So you can see again, click on the view to see the prediction, and based on in this data set, it has started making the here we go. It is making prediction in the beginning. You can see here, most of prediction are no, because looks like I have got more no values than yes. So it is, the model seems to be a little biased towards no, to be very honest, but shows what probability each row has for customer to not to go for subscribing for the term deposit. So you can do the batch prediction as well. You can always download the result and you can take it offline and investigate. Now, a couple of more features to talk about. As I mentioned earlier, the whole idea of using this tool is to explore the possibility of building a model with the data. And once you think that, yeah, this data can be used for prediction, the results are coming quite accurate, then you can share it with data scientists so that they can put it as part of their MLOps pipeline and can deploy it. So you can. So for that, you have to share this whole work with your data scientist colleague, and that you can do using this Share with SageMaker Studio button. So you click over here, it's going to generate a package which then data scientist can use with SageMaker Studio to take forward the work for deploying it to real-time production and those kind of things. You can still use this interface. Business analysts can still use this interface, but when it goes to data scientists, they can actually deploy it as a web service or endpoint, which then can be used by anyone to make prediction, not only business analyst. That's the one feature. You can share your work with data scientists using click on this button. Another one is that data analysts keep getting new data. So you can simply say, you know what, okay, I had my data today and I generated a model. 1 month, 2 months down the line, I've got a new baseline of data. I want to generate a prediction again. In that case, actually, you can create a new version of the data. So you can simply say add a version. If you click on that, it simply creates a version of your work. You click on that version and you start from the select again. So you can again go and select your new refined data set, and then can start doing the same kind of prediction. So keep in mind that you can create, so this version of prediction, model is built on this particular set of data, this data set. And you can create multiple versions like this on different baseline of data because training a model is not a one-time job. More and more data you get, and you retrain your model for the better accuracy. So you can always create a new version from your previous version to keep creating multiple versions of the model against the new baseline of the data. So that's what you can do, and to be honest, that's pretty much at high levels. That's what you can do with Amazon SageMaker Canvas, where you can bring your data and you can use that data to make a machine learning based prediction and explore the possibility of using data for any kind of prediction. And if it looks serious, share it with the data scientists so that data scientists can put this whole thing as a part of the MLOps pipeline and can deploy it as an endpoint, which then can be used by anyone within the business group for generating the prediction. So that was all for today, guys. Hope you liked the video, and if you like, please click on the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. I always look forward to your feedback, whether it is about new content or you want to correct me for anything I talked wrong about, or if you have any questions related to any of my topic or anything you want to discuss from the design or architecture point of view. I always look forward to your feedback to make my content better. So please provide me your feedback in the comment section of my YouTube channel. I promise to come back again in a week's time with another such video. In the meantime, please stay safe and have a nice day. Bye-bye.